the deal, y'all? It is your girl, Fallon Favors. Yes, back again for another webisode of the Baby Mama Chronicles. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for subscribing in advance, liking, commenting, sharing. Raise the algorithm, y'all. We trying to take Baby Mama Chronicles to the top. BM gang, y'all already know what it is. Let's get into it. So this week's episode is going to be, as you could tell in the title of the video, let's talk about the real reason why you and your baby daddy don't get along. Y'all fighting, y'all fussing, y'all can't seem to communicate, you can't get together to figure out what y'all gonna do for the baby birthdays. Y'all doing separate birthdays, separate events. The families is not getting along and the families is not helping. They keeping the drama going. Y'all can't seem to find a common ground. Every single time y'all hop on the phone, see each other, it's all of this hostility. Y'all can't get through a conversation without arguing, name calling. Enough. We're gonna figure out why that is. Like, why do you and your baby daddy have so much friction? Why y'all just can't get along? Let's see. I think one of the first things to think about, as to why you and your baby daddy aren't getting along would be, I think that sometimes women, what we do with men, this doesn't even necessarily have to be a baby mama, baby daddy scenario, but I think that sometimes as women, we overestimate who we are to the man. Now, ladies, men don't have to deal with this, women don't have to deal with the same level of rejection that men have to deal with coming from the time where they, are grade school and, they're not getting picked to play basketball, or, there's competition there and they have to immediately understand where they fall and rank as it pertains to schooling or sports or even being able to get girls. They're constantly in that mindset, you know what I'm saying? Whereas women, everything was handed to us. The carpets have been rolled out for most of us, you know what I mean, since we were young in one way or another, whether it be familial or societal or whatever. So it's always like we haven't really had to deal with the rejection part of it. So going into relationships, baby mama, baby daddy relationships, you would go into it thinking like, I am the prize, which we are. But there's duality with everything, like I always say, right? So it's like, okay, yes, we are these special things, these special parts of life as far as women is concerned. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be the woman for this man and you're just so great, stupendous, and out of this world that you're the right person for this man, or you inspire this man enough to build a life with. And just because you're able to have a baby with a man, because God has given you the ability with your body through the gifts that he's given us as women to be able to bring life into the world, that is our birthright as women. It does not necessarily mean that you are this man's everything. And so when baby daddy, right, let's just say in a lot of the scenarios that come across my table, a lot of you are having, issues with figuring out like, okay, why my baby daddy don't want to be with me, or, my baby daddy left me when I was 6 months pregnant and now he has a whole nother girlfriend and, they're playing house and they want to take my baby over there and all of these different things. And you guys are trying to figure out why that is when they had the baby with you, when they had the opportunity to have the life, the traditional, family that we all want, most of us at least. Why wasn't he able to build that with me? And the reality is you may have overestimated who you were to that man in his life. I'm not, discounting you ladies. I'm not telling you that you're not special. I'm not telling you that you have all of the light that shines within you to give to somebody and somebody should be appreciative of that. I'm definitely not saying that. What I am saying is, it doesn't necessarily mean you are the right woman for that particular man. So we kind of have to check that, all of the stuff that I be giving is about introspection, accountability. I know it sounds boring and all that, but trust me, you have to do the work. So, it really is about really honestly assessing, objectively assessing, stepping out of the situation and really looking at it for what it is and being able to tell some truths about where you fit in that. And sometimes we idealize our situations with men because it helps us mentally as far as how we deal with them, because we're not used to the rejection. So for it to be the fact that, okay, maybe I just wasn't that special to that man. Maybe that man didn't really see me as that. Maybe he didn't really see me in a place where I could really hold a place in his life as his queen, as his partner, as his better half. You know what I mean? Maybe he just thought I was a really nice person. Maybe he liked the way that I treated him. Maybe he liked the way that I treated him, Maybe he liked the way I cooked. Girl, my ass was fat. Maybe he liked the way I was giving mugs, fat, whatever. I don't know. But maybe it was that and it wasn't as deep as we tried to make it seem. So just something to think about, which kind of ties into the other reasons, you know, some of the other things that I've been thinking about. The other reason why you and your baby daddy can't get along is because you won't admit, girl. You will not admit that you still want him. You still want him, girl. I mean, we have to start telling the truth, ladies. Like, and there's no harm in doing so. It actually empowers you. It actually, you know, emboldens you to, you know, live fearlessly when you can tell the truth. Do you have to tell all your business? Never that. But I think it's important to tell yourself the truth at least first. And if you're fighting him all the time, you know what I mean? You're giving him a hard time. He's calling you. You kind of have an attitude. You kind of pull him in or bait him into not getting along with you. You may be having a certain type of attitude with him, or y'all have unresolved issues from y'all past between baby mama and baby daddy. Maybe y'all are separated. He got a new girlfriend, or he doing him, or whatever the case may be. But y'all were not able to resolve some of those really pressing issues that you guys had together that maybe caused so many rifts and you know, as to why you guys separated. Maybe that stuff is unresolved. You know, BM gang, baby mamas, we hold so much of that in. You have to have a way to let that out. You know what I mean? And it's good to talk to friends, but sometimes we may be embarrassed to talk to friends to say, like, you know what, I really still love him, because we're afraid friends is gonna say, like, girl, your trifling ass baby daddy don't do shit for them kids. Or you don't want to hear your family's, you know, maybe your family don't like him, he done already did certain things based on your narrative of whatever stories you told them. I digress. You know, maybe they don't like him now, you know what I mean? So it's you're not really getting that support there, and maybe you're not brave enough to tell him how you feel because of, what did I say in the first thing I said? It's the level of rejection that we're not used to, ladies. We're not used to that level of rejection. We're not. And so if we come to baby daddy and say, especially if he's already given us signs to show us that he's really not here for it, that he really doesn't want to build that kind of life with us, for us to ask him just straight up, just so that way you know, and you can kind of move based on that, you know what I mean, at least with knowing the truth. Instead of saying that, we're waiting for him to come around. We're hoping that our bad attitude catches his attention. We're hoping that, it's just almost like a kid crying out for attention. What little girls do when they want that, you know, daddy to start paying attention to them. They start acting out, showing their ass. See me, hello, hello. And, you know, some men fall into that bait, but they don't take it in as daddy would and say, okay, my baby just needs me to hug her, hold her, ask her what's wrong, figure out what's happening in her mind, you know, express how you feel to me, because daddy loves us in that way, because we're his seed, we're his child. This man, baby, is not thinking about that, and he's not going to necessarily care for you in that same way, you know. So it's really important that you woman up and find the strength to be able to tell yourself the truth first. Hopefully you do have an outlet or whatever to tell somebody if that's really how you still feel. And then there's no harm in letting that man know where you stand. If he's gonna be for you, he's gonna be for you. Nothing that you can say or not say, nothing that anybody can do or not do, you are going to be assigned, you know, as long as you're open and aligned with your path, like, you're going to be with that person, you know what I mean? So again, y'all, the first step is admitting. That's the first step, to admit that you have a baby daddy addiction problem, that you on your baby daddy's line, girl. You will not let it go, girl. Why don't you just, I don't know, girl. Maybe, but for some of y'all, maybe it's just time to let it go. Okay, let it go. And so by you, and you know, not admitting the fact that you still want him, now you guys are having issues. You guys are arguing. And again, it's so important to get in touch with your feelings, because sometimes you may not even know. You may not even know that you're arguing with him, starting these problems with him, trying to get this attention, because you really are crying out for him to just hear you and see you, you know, and that's going to cause a rift. That is going to cause some type of, you know, angst and frustration. And if this man is uninvolved and not really able to at least not acknowledge, but see what it is that's going on, you know, and assess it that way and see it through that lens, opposed to just seeing it through a lens of just like, oh my God, she's tripping, I don't even want to deal with her. You know, if it's not in that place, you know, it's going to be a lot of back and forth. It's going to be a lot of stormy nights, you know what I'm saying, and arguing and yelling and all of that, which is probably the most dangerous space you could be in trying to raise a child. You know, you got to think about how it was when you was a kid. You got to think about how you felt growing up, maybe in those kind of same situations. And those scars stay on your body forever. You know, y'all know what I mean, not literal, but you know, those emotional scars, those spiritual scars don't leave you that easy. You know what I mean? So it's really important that the damage that we do to our kids, which ultimately we probably will end up doing some, just because we are human beings, we're flawed. And that is the way in which they will learn in one way or another. You know, you just have to really be careful of that. And you know, baby mamas, again, accountability, we're about that. So that's really important that you understand that if you still do want him, don't allow that to be the catalyst of you acting a damn fool and causing more dissension and abruption between, you know, the baby daddy, baby mama dynamic, you know, that family. Like, don't do that. And lastly, you guys, you know, again, everything is all relative. So it all kind of ties in. So many of us lack self-awareness and accountability. Because we lack self-awareness and accountability, it's impossible for us to see the people that we're in relationship with, in this case, the baby daddy. It is impossible to see how we are contributing to the breakdown of the relationship. It's so much easier, and the world is actually designed, and I think more so for Black people, brown people, more than anybody else, but the world is designed for us to have this familial breakdown anyway. And so there has been a story and a picture that's been painted about Black fatherhood, where it's like they don't take care of their kids, they don't financially support their kids, they don't stick around enough for their kids, you know, to learn to start walking before they're in jail, or they're doing this or they're doing that. And there's all of these negative stereotypes as far as just like Black fatherhood is concerned. So Black women, baby mamas, you know, we are, you know, given so much support, whether it be through Department of Social Services, you know what I'm saying, whether it be through the child support system itself, whether it be through just society and how we all look at it. Oh, he should be doing this, he should be doing that. Not really considering how the baby mama plays such an integral role with the relationship as far as just the baby mama, baby daddy dynamic. We hold all of the cards, and a lot of you are abusing the card that you have been dealt, and you're still not getting the results that you want. It's really a lack of your self-awareness and accountability regarding that is preventing you from possibly stepping into a new realm of understanding with your child's father. It's a mouthful. Y'all can rewind it back, okay? I'm not gonna be repeating it, but just understand, knowing what you contribute to any situation, and this is a tip, ladies, this is not just for you and your baby daddy, this is in life. You have to take your part. That's the only way you can even begin to gain the understanding that you need in order to figure out how to fix this baby mama, baby daddy relationship, whether you guys are together or not, which should be important to you. Some of you ladies are also very selfish, where you're thinking about the reconciliation of you and your baby daddy because you want to fulfill whatever desire that you have to paint this picture of this mama and daddy dynamic. But that may not even be the reason why you and this man came together. Maybe you and this man only came together to create this child. It was more about the child. Whether you guys are going to be together or not, the child should be the priority. And in the midst of your bickering and you trying to figure out what's what between you and baby daddy, your child is downloading all that information from the time that they're in your belly to the time that they, you know what I'm saying, just throughout their lives. I'll tell y'all a funny story. Me and my baby's father did not get along my entire pregnancy. Baby daddy, don't get mad at me. We cool now, okay? I have to tell the story. I have to give them the backstory so that way they understand, they get the information. So, but me and my baby daddy, hey baby daddy, we did not get along my entire pregnancy, okay? When we did, we argued, we bickered, we fought. And I can probably count on my hand how many times we actually had spoken throughout my 9-month pregnancy. It was very, very far few and in between, and we, you know, just did not get along for our own personal reasons. My mother gave me a lot of support during that time. You know, I had friends and family that supported me. My castmates from College Hill, you know, supported me throughout my pregnancy as well. So I had a lot of love and support around me. So I still had a happy pregnancy. Of course, I would have loved to have had him there and have that pregnancy that we all dream about, where we get to walk with our, you know, child's father or husbands, fiancés, you know, with baby daddy, whatever, no judgment. And we get to walk down the street, you know, to induce the labor and, you know, pick out baby clothes and sign up for registries and do all of that stuff together. I did not have that experience, although I had a lot of love around me. And so towards the tail end of my pregnancy, My baby's father and I did somewhat of a reconciliation post our baby shower. You know, the baby shower gonna always bring everybody together, girl. You know, we were kind of able to reconnect. All of his family came, all of my family came. And so it was a really celebratory moment that we were able to share. And even though we had not spoken, it was kind of like an unspoken thing that we shared with each other, where we still were able to show each other love and show each other respect in that moment. There was no arguing there. We did our best to just get along, and we hadn't seen each other in so long. By the time he seen me, I had blown the hell up. So it was just a crazy experience. I kid you not. So me and my baby's father again had not talked all of that time throughout my 9-month pregnancy. Fast forward to maybe 2 or 3 weeks after my baby shower. My daughter came about 2 weeks early. She wasn't supposed to be due until like the 2nd week of May or something like that. And this was the first time I had been around my baby's father post the baby shower, but you know, in months. I hadn't seen my baby daddy, hadn't spent no time with him, talked to him, nothing. I go to my baby daddy's house. I go into labor. I go into labor at my baby daddy's house after not seeing him for months, you know, again, besides the baby shower. And that's when my daughter decided to come. My daughter, of course, downloaded all of the information inside, you know, that was going on inside of me. And it was obvious that I wasn't around him much. Something about that vibration and that connection that our children have to us, you know, and our being, you know, just bringing them into the world, especially as mothers. I don't know if she could sense or feel that I was around him and that it was safe for her to come, or that she wanted it to be very clear from the very gate. Like, this is going to be a couple thing. You're not about to raise me by yourself, nor is he. When y'all get together, I'm coming. When we got together, you know, I went into labor right there on his floor of his room, you know, back in the day. And again, after not seeing it for so long, I'm just saying that, ladies, to say we are connected. Our children are connected to us. We have to take responsibility for housing that type of spiritual power. And, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. If you are not being accountable about who you are, what you feel, then you're not grown. Okay. And you're still going to keep running into brick walls as well. So it's kind of up to you. What kind of life do you want to lead? Do you want a stress-free life? Do you want a solid life for your child? You know what I mean? Then if that's the case, put your big girl panties on and find a way to make it right with that man for the sake of your child. You know, do the best that you can. My dude always say, empty your clip. You know what I mean? Like, you need to empty your clip every time before walking away from a situation or throwing your hands up like, oh, this is not going to work, or just putting it all on somebody else. Empty your clip, try your hardest to make things right. And just, I promise you, you will see some differences. You will see some things shift. You will see some things change. Even if it's not directly from that person, the universe will honor that kind of energy. So trust your girl. Trust me, y'all. Trust me. Okay, you guys, so that wraps up today's video. Why you and your baby daddy don't get along. I hope I was able to help some of you ladies today. Go ahead and drop in the comments if you've ever experienced. Why don't I didn't even know if. Tell me about all your baby daddy problems like y'all already do. Tell me about the, you know, the arguments that you guys get into, but also make sure that you guys are telling me the stories of, yes, I did use some of this or whatever with my baby daddy, and after so many weeks of not talking, we were able to have a conversation and at least, you know, get on the same page. That's what I want to hear, y'all. I'm not just preaching. I've been there. I already know what this life look like when it's on the downturn, and I am proof that, you know, if you join together with your baby daddy, you can have a really positive relationship. Is it perfect all the time? No. But you want to have the best relationship that you can have for your children and for yourself, okay? Make sure y'all subscribe. Tell a friend to know a friend to know a friend, share to friend. We're trying to blow this thing up, y'all. Okay, until next time, I love you. Peace. Subscribe.